like to show you is that what you guys will be doing today and what you will end up with, or what you should end up with. Okay, I'm going to hold it up for you guys to see. This is what you are aiming at. Now, everyone has done all these basics before in the last couple of sessions. You've done your flowers. Yes, you've done your paisleys, which are here, and all the other bits are just little intricates that you've done. Just where you place them just makes the design. Yeah, so these are just samples that I'm going to be doing on my beautiful model, Raisa, today. So have you all got your pencils and your cones ready? Okay, let's start it off by doing a simple dot. I'm going to go from the little bone there. I'm going to go diagonally to her index finger, okay? Which, I mean, you can, to be honest, that is what I'm going to do. However, if you feel you want to, go into any other line, go on to side to side here, it's entirely up to you. You can do you can do the flowers. I'm literally going to do all the things that have been already repeated in the previous classes. So let's start off with a little dot just here on the little bone. Okay, I'm going to start with a little circle. And before I do that, I'm actually going to wear my glasses so I can see what I'm doing. Usually helps. Okay, so let's do, right, so you keep an eye on to make sure that it's being seen. Bear with me. So little dot, not too small, and then you just do a little circle around that dot. Can you all see that? And then you've done your little I don't know what you call these, your little humps, as I say. Obviously, as I'm sure stated before by Salima and Samia, is if you have it all of the same size, it's much neater, looks more attractive anyway. If you do it all of the same size. I say it, doesn't always work out for me, but I attempt to do it, yeah? So once you've done the little humps, I'm going to do my petals, and you've all done petals last week, okay? So my petals are going to be the ones where it's heart-shaped. Again, make sure all of them are the same size. So roughly do it, and then you'll go over it at some stage. So that's fine, not a problem. Now, what you need to do is slightly shade them, right? So I would actually, the way I do it, there might be other ways of doing it. My way is to just go over the two humps that are there and then literally pull them down. Can you see that? I might have to lean over, so if you can't see it, just apologized. Yes, feeling good? I'm going to continue with filling it in. I'm going to actually do the humps here again. Hopefully, these are the little humps, first of all. And then I'm going to do slightly bigger humps. Like if the initial humps are slim, then the upper humps are going to be twice the size, thickness-wise. And then I'm going to just draw the line and make sure. I'm not going to be coloring these humps because we need to see it more clearly. So I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm going to draw another line above the humps, just clear line. And then I'm going to just basically do little humps again. And here you can either continue this, you can repeat the pattern again, or you can do the round squiggles on it. This is where you need to just have a little bit of an artistic flair, in the sense that, you know, use anything that you feel like doing. This is where you just let your imagination take over. If it needs to make it more, you know, I mean, I'm just telling you what I normally do. If you feel that you want to place it elsewhere, by all means, feel free. What I would suggest is go over it one more time, the paisley outline, so that it's more visible. Okay. And after that, I'm going to do two very slim lines, just following the outside of the paisley. So I'm going to just draw this line, 2 lines I'm going to do it. Now 2 lines. At the end of the 2 lines, the front, this bits of it, I'm going to just make 2 leaves, attach 2 leaves to it, or extend it with 2 leaves on it. Okay, so I'm going to now do my favorite ones again, the little humps again, to just, I think usually these are called maybe fillers. I'm not quite sure. Sometimes they're referred to as fillers. So yeah. Yes. Now I'm going to do what we've already done before, and they are the petals. Remember, we did the petals for the flowers. I'm going to put the petals here. Again, try and see if you can actually make it the same, similar size. I know it's very difficult to do the same size, but try and do the similar, same size if possible. And again, once you've done the petals, please shade it like we did the petals of the flower.
If you make a mistake, how easy is it just to wipe off and correct it?
Thank goodness I've got long nails. I try to sort of wipe it off with as little disturbance to the rest of the pattern as possible. Obviously, the quicker you do it, the better it is, because obviously then the color doesn't, if it is a very good mehndi, the color usually catches on pretty much straight away. So the quicker you try and get rid of the error, the mistake that you've made, the better it is. But don't worry, because even if you take it off and it shades a little bit, if you put your design over that shade, it will most likely not be too visible. I'm going to refer to my little pattern again, which is this one here. Yes, we've done the flower, we've done the paisley, we've done this bit here. So I'm going to move on to the finger side of it, which is this little swirly bit. Yes, can you see the swirly bit here? Okay, so we can going to do that bit now. I'm sure you've all done the swirls, which is fine. So it's going to go from here. And I'm going to do another swirl, but this time it's going to be going in the other, so follow it up to us, up to the stem side of it, and then it goes the other way. But let me just show you. Let me do this and I'll show it to you, okay? Can you see it? It's going the other way. Yes? Yes? Okay. So what I'm going to do is on the second swirl here at the top one, I'm going to actually make that swirl into a flower. Yeah. And maybe the petals don't need to be as big as the other flower because of the finger, it's approaching the finger, and I want to sort of make it show that it flows into the finger without too much different, too much of a difference. Again, shade that flower, the petals I meant. Now, I thought there was too much space between my swirl here and it looked too empty. So all I have done is just dotted it around. Can you see the dots? Yes. So just put the dots. I mean, it's up to you. If you don't have that much space, you don't need to do the dots. It's up to you how you want to do it, okay? Now I'm going to go up to the fingers. Now fingers is, it's entirely up to you. Also, okay, before I tackle the fingers, sometimes people, you know, when we are doing Mehndi for in the Jamaat Khana, people always want a lot more going up to their wrists and up into their upper arm. I feel this is unfinished. I feel it is unfinished. Other people may not feel that. What I'm going to do here is do another paisley. Yes, another paisley, similar to the one here. You can shade it the way you want. So if I'm doing the paisley and you can't see it, it's the same paisley as here, but you can just replicate it on this side. I'm going to do it because I think might be, you may not be able to see it. If you are seeing it, that's fine. I've done my paisley. Yes, so it's now getting quite nearly coming up to a full hand. Well, good strip there. Okay. I'm literally going to replicate what I've already done here, but this time I'm not going to do the petals. I'm going to do the 2 lines following around the paisley here, but I'm not going to do the petals. I'm just going to do the 2 lines and then do the leaves, and then we'll see how it looks, how empty. If it looks too empty, then we might fill it. If it doesn't look empty, we can leave it as it is, but it's up to you how heavy you want, how light you want. Yeah. Okay. So basically, this is what I've done. The two lines going up that way, 2 leaves at the end, and then I've just literally finished it off with some dots at the end. Can you see that? Can you see the dots? Yes? Yes? Looking good? Good. Okay, so next thing we're going to tackle is some more dots. Okay, I'll do some more dots. All I have done is somewhere where I have felt that there was spaces, it looked a little bit bare. I have done our little fillers, which are literally 3 dots that I think you might have learned from your previous lessons. Yes? Can you see that? And I've added a dot here. I've added a line of dots here. So these look absolutely gorgeous. I personally love them. So I tend to do them more because they look very uh, very well Indian-y, but very nice. You know, it's very artistic when you sort of do little. You get your start off your dots and they so slowly get smaller and smaller and smaller, and it's just lovely. Yeah.
Can you just go over how you do it from a big dot to the small dot?
Okay, so this was a technique that Salima actually showed us. Was when you are doing, if you want to do dots of the same size, okay, you sort of put your cone on a dot, whatever that, wherever you're going to be doing it, and apply pressure and count to, depending on the size of the dot. For example, we are doing a count of 3. So put the pressure, count to 3, go to the next dot, count to 3, and you will have all the dots of the same size. Now, bearing that in mind, if you want to sort of make it sort of bigger dots, smaller dots, smaller, smaller, smaller. So basically your count gets less, 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 less. So you start off with a 3, and then the second one would be a little bit less than 3. Third one would be 2. The fourth one would be just less than 2. You know, so on it goes on. But I think that obviously comes with practice. Now, honestly speaking, you should all, if you are serious about Mehndi, all of you should have been practicing half an hour every day. Now, truthfully speaking, how many of you have been doing that? No, I don't think everybody does it. I am laughing because I know I don't do it because sometimes it's difficult to find the time. So the only way to get to be good at your Mehndi is to keep on practicing as much as you can. If you can't get models like my niece, you can do it on your own hands, you can do it on your feet, you can do it on your thighs where nobody can see it if you have made mistakes, anywhere. Or I mean, I'm very, thank goodness for pens and pencils, but it's not always the same to do it on a paper and with a pencil or a pen, because size is not, it becomes a little bit difficult. So I would suggest do it there, and failing that, use a cone and do it on the paper to try and get the practice as much as you can. Coming up to the finger, you can do anything that you want to the finger. You can either continue and finish this finger, and then you can do separate designs on the rest of the finger, or you can stop there and do the same on all 4 fingers. I will actually continue with the same design up to the end of the finger here, and then I'm going to do something different, something like this, for example, on the fingers. Very simple, but just maintaining the same pattern. Yeah. Can you see that? It's very simple, nothing exciting, nothing, but when you actually do it on the finger, it will look absolutely gorgeous. And it will fill the finger and the hands up. So people, when you're doing it in Jamaat Khana for people, even it pleases them because it fills up their hands. Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to do 2 squiggles, and then do a little paisley or on it, on the finger. And because it's a very small paisley, as you can see, I can't do much designs in it. So all I'm going to do is just little simple lines like this I'm going to do. Again, then the famous lines come in. And you will also realize that a lot of things here that I'm doing are repetitious. There's nothing exciting. It's just where you place them, how you place them, it makes a pattern. You will realize, yes? I'm also ended up doing a little flower in the finger. The sizes obviously change as you go into the finger. Yes, are you keeping up? Yes.
Someone's asked a question. How hard is it to apply the Mehndi on yourself compared to on a model?
I personally find it easier on myself because I know I can keep my hand steady. I can position it the way I want to. Sometimes it's not the way you want to position the hand. And if you've got a model, it may not be easy for the model to position the hand. So it gets a little bit like, oh, okay. And especially when you're doing on the bride, it's a bit, it's not always the same because they may find it's not, it may not be, the positions are not exactly the way you want them. So it gets a bit tricky. So it's easier, better when you're doing your own hands. I find it, but I don't know about the others like Salima or Samia. I'm not quite sure. Um, Okay, so that's my finger done. I don't know whether you can see it. Yeah. See, so that's now, if I could have easily stopped here. Some people don't normally want it on the um, fingers. And this is quite a lot of Mehndi that we've done now, but I can continue. I will go ahead and I will do the fingers. You can do the same if you want to. Wow, Ashraf, you're doing an excellent job. Ashraf, you normally do Mehndi, because that is very good. Yes, beautiful. Uzma, yes.
And how large should the hole be in the Mehndi cone is another question that we have.
Yeah, it's obviously the whole all depends on how smooth your Mehndi is and how quickly it comes out. Sometimes some people like thick lines and thick Mehndi. Some people like I know, Farid, you do. Some people like it very fine. It's literally personal to you or to the person you are applying it for. But I think sometimes what makes it more interesting is mixture. Then you can identify the pattern even better. So, and you can do it with the same hole. You don't have to have different sized holes for Mehndi. It's a way you apply pressure. Important thing is applying pressure through the cones. So that is why to get to know the cone, or how thick or how finely you can apply, you have to keep on practicing to sort of see how much pressure would you apply to get the thickness, how much pressure you need to apply to get the thin line going. So that is, hence I suggest please do a lot of practice. Now I leave it for you to design the fingers that you want. Okay, like I showed you earlier on, I will do my style here, which I think is very simple. Little humps, as you can see, to start off with. I've done a line, then a little humps, then bigger humps, again small humps, and then I do end up with a flower. But the flower, the petals I'm doing here is covered in humps rather than the heart-shaped petals. And then actually got a leaf as well, and then two lines with ending with leaves at the end, and then my favorite dots, as you can see. Okay, I've done my one finger, little humps, and then bigger humps, then a line, another line, then small humps, a flower, but this time without the petals being you know, just humps rather than doing heart-shaped petals. And then you've got your leaf and two lines ending with a leaf at the at that bottom end, and then finishing off with the dots. I did like the ones that Samia had done the other day with just literally the flowers like this. You can end it if you don't want it to be too heavy. You can make it like that. Yeah. And then Salima did the last week. She did a couple of them. They were nice as well. Quite liked them. That was lovely. I liked it. And also the one with the thumb that I did. That one. See what I mean? So it's lovely. Entirely up to you. You can do that, and you can end it up with you know, the two leaves coming at the end as well. Perfect. You know. So I leave it to you. I want you to use your own flair there. How are we doing for time? Yeah, Farin?
Yeah, no, we're fine. We've got another 20 minutes.
Okay, so we can easily finish our fingers within that time. I'm going to, unless somebody has something exciting to point out, or something that they can't see or something like that, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to do the fingers. I'm only going to show you this one pattern. There isn't any more I will be showing you. So unless you want to see anything in particular, please let me know.
And these designs you can modify as you go along if someone has run out of space.
Absolutely. There is no, thank goodness with the Mehndis, there is no such thing as a right design or a wrong design. It is what pleases your eye, to be honest.
And we just have a question about storage of Mehndi. So if you've got a cone, I had mine in the fridge, but then I didn't take it out early enough and it's too hard for me to use. So can you just talk about just Mehndi storage, and should you use it at room temperature?
Ideally, the room temperature is better, simply because the flow is gets better at room temperature. Also, another thing, I think last week Salima did mention it, that if it has got chemicals in it, you can store it much longer. I actually leave mine in the freezer, And I'm assuming that that is because it probably got chemicals in it. I'm not sure. I don't do my own cones, so I don't know the chemical mixture or not. I have bought fresh cones from people who do fresh cones, and they can stay up to, I think, best time obviously to use it is within the first few days of it being done. However, you can actually leave it for about some people say 6 weeks or more, but chemical ones you can leave it for literally for 6, 8 months, year, whatever. And I leave mine in the freezer. I take it out, but I leave it out until it gets to a room temperature, and then you can start. Then you can use it without any issues. But you have to be careful that people are not allergic to chemicals, because that is the most important thing. If they are allergic, then it's not a very nice feeling to experience. So I would suggest, if you are doing somebody else's other than yourself, please try it, experiment, do a little sample and see that it has got it, that they have no reaction to any of that, and just be safe.
So Azmina, I have a cone,
Yeah.
embarrassingly, from Diamond Jubilee Mubarak, Northwest JK. Is this going to be too old for me to use on my hand?
To be honest, if it, I feel, you want to stop the recording? I do feel maybe that is not freshly, I don't know who provided it, I have no idea, but you will find that if it is stored correctly, you will still get decent color. Now, decent color, I mean, for Kushali, it is fine. However, I would not use it for a bride, because for a bride, it has to be obviously the bestest best. The extremely best colors, obviously, because don't forget, it is their day, and they want it, really good color. Unless somebody doesn't like Mehndi and they're doing it because they're being pressurized, then it is a different matter.
And you can freeze fresh Mehndi or chemical Mehndi. The storage is the same.
I would say, like I said, I'm not the expert on these matters. However, the best person would have been Salima to answer that question, to be honest, because I really don't. I store mine are all in the freezer at the moment. lower drawer of the freezer at the moment. All my Mehndis are there. Whenever I want it, I take them out, which is what I did with this cone. I'm going to just be a little bit more extravagant with my dots. I'm going to go all the way to the flower. Sorry. I find putting henna very therapeutic. I can get literally lost in it. As you can see, when mid-sentence I stop because I'm just taken over by it. But yeah, I mean, and you can make it a little more fancier by taking your dots all the way down. Lovely. Such a difference. It makes such a lot of difference. How you can leave the dots halfway, but you can take the dots all the way down to the flower and look at the difference it makes. Just gorgeous, I think. I'm just going to finish my thumb and then I'm done with this Mehndi, okay?
I think you're completely right about it being so therapeutic, because you can just get lost.
I do.
And even I'm just doing it on pen and paper, and even then I'm getting completely lost in it.
Yeah,
so there
absolutely.
is something just for.
And you will find, and when you are in that kind of a mood, you will see that your flair suddenly, your artistic flair just literally lets loose, to be honest. Lots of inspiration comes out when you are in that kind of frame of mind.
Someone is just asking if you can do, the squares, square design technique.
I'm not quite sure what you mean. In what respect?
I think it's the checkered.
I mean, you can include it in here if you want to. I mean,
yes, can you show it?
I'm going to stop in hers, but I will show you one of the designs. Let me finish this bit here. I will show you how you can incorporate your little squares in it. Okay. Before we, I don't want to. I want to make sure I don't run out of time. Uh, okay, that's my finger done. So that's my whole hand. I've just finished with my beautiful model. Yes. Can you see that? Yeah.